Okay, this is a quick update on what we've done so far. We typically we start at the home page, just because that's where it loads into, and then we by default go to modules. That's where our work's going to be to do. For today, let's talk about our assignments, and then we'll talk about some other things. First, I'm doing a course introduction, and I already did one. And in introducing Canvas, hopefully by now we've gotten a little familiar with Canvas, and if anybody's having any problems right now, let me know. So because the first module is resources, this is where I put the stuff that's going to be pertinent and it's going to stick around. Then each week we change it. It'll be week 2, week 3, but for this week we have the personal bio due, which most of you have done and did a great job. The discussion board, and you can get 18 points by that, and when you click this, it'll explain how to do it, which means you're going to go to discussions right here. You're going to click that, and it'll show you some different options for where you want to discuss. Okay, so if I wanted to pick something, I won't pick one that's populated yet. I'll pick printing, or actually any of these, but I could just pick one, click on it, and it gives you the question, and then you can reply. Once you're done, you can go to another one, clicking discussions up here, or you can go back to modules, because we always default back to modules. But that's how you'll do your discussion board, and read the instructions in here if you click on this link. And then you're going to I posted a little quiz. It's a good example of how to complete a quiz in this program. And next week I'll teach you how to use NetLabs. But this is your starting point. If I want to go a little further, I think what I'll do is go up to our resources. And the syllabus, basically, the most important part is I can either download it or I can just let it come up and load. That's probably easier unless I want to, but it'll download as a PDF. Now basically, the best way to reach me is by email. Absolutely. This is the text at this point that we'll be using. Things to point out are, I reserve the right to modify the assignments and point totals to meet the demands of the class, because sometimes we move faster or slower, or we have more assignments. The course will concentrate on 229.01 and 229.02 exams, and those are actually equivalent to Cisco IT Essentials, so they accept that, which is good for you. NetLabs will be used, and then some things to emphasize: that no late assignments are accepted. So everything is due at 1 o'clock on Sundays unless otherwise stated. That's important. If you do, no late assignments will be accepted. Don't email me assignments, okay? There's no makeup exams or quizzes unless arranged with, and here's the key point, and approved by the instructor, okay? We have our student responsibilities. Some things that maybe jump out are, if you get down to Sunday, consider your points and get as many as you can. And I think the rest of it's relatively self-explanatory. Then, since we're going to be done here, let's go back to modules, or I could hit the back button either way. I think I can even go next. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There we go. This takes us to our CompTIA objectives. Now here it's a little bit different, because there's a little tiny magnifying glass. If I click on that, it'll just preview it right here. If I click on this, it will download the PDF for you. And that would be, this is the 901 exam, this is the 902. So I'm going to preview this, and as it shows, these are the exam numbers, 229.01. It will give you about the exam, basically. Don't freak out about the exam things right now, but because your book addresses it in the first chapter, I really don't have much of a choice. The exam is made up of a domain, and there's four in this part of the domain in 901. So the 34% of it will be hardware, 21% will be networking, 17% will be mobile devices, and lastly, 28% will be hardware and network troubleshooting. So that's the exam domains. They are then broken into more detail. If you look here, number 1 is hardware. So it's showing you 1.1, given the scenario, configure settings using the BIOS or the UEFI tool on a PC. And here is exactly everything in these objectives is everything on the exam. So I usually like to print this out and check off when I'm learning. But so every single domain is broken into details, and then the next domain would be networking. So it shows what we do in networking and so on until it gets to the end of the fourth. Now, one thing I think is extremely important for you to know about is at the end right here, the acronyms. We talk in networking even more so, but we talk in acronyms. And every acronym that you will use for this course is right here. So sometimes I print, if you can do a print, you go from page 15 to page 19, I'll just those 2 pages, and I'll have this great list of acronyms, and when I'm trying to read and I have no idea what they're talking about, it gives me a good opportunity to keep track of that. So I think that helped us, and then we'll go back to, let's see, here we'll go to next. Go down here. This will go to the next one. The objectives are posted there, and then this would be the netiquette that you can look at. There's many different versions, and I can give you more. And then the next part in your resources module is these Professor Messer videos, and they're great because they are tagged right to the number. So if I want to know something that's listed in the first domain, 1.4, then I can go to this great resource, and I'll demonstrate this for you at some point when we're ready. Well, I don't have a lot of time right now, so I don't want to waste time. But you can use this link. You go to his A+ training, and you can scroll down to the bottom, and it'll show you the links. They're all free videos, and you look for the one that says 1.4. So if there's something you don't understand and you know that's what it is, or you can look by name. Great resource, okay? And they're usually not too long. That's why I like him. I don't like 20-minute videos. Lastly, this is now if you look at our modules, that was our, that completes our resources at this point. Our modules for this week, as I said, we're going to do this, and they're posted. I think that should be a pretty good explanation.